Hey guys, welcome back to Nioh. We are starting today off with a Defiled Holy Mountain. Actually, I guess it's the second mission of today, but Mount Ibuki is a mythical mountain that has long flourished as a training ground for aspiring ascetics. Rumors abound that spirit stones can be found there as well, which I'm sure have caught that damned Kelly's attention. As if it weren't enough, I have heard that many of Mitsunari's troops, and maybe even Mitsunari himself, have holed up there, following their defeat at Sekigahara. Yeah, Mount Ibuki, a mystical mountain that has flourished since the days of gods, used to be home to many different shrines. However, the age of constant warfare has seen them fall into ruin and decay. Now, instead of a training ground for aspiring holy men, the contaminated mountain has become a den of monsters. And I mean, that is pretty accurate. So this is actually a really cool mountain. I think I'm going to put on Shinroku until we get to about the end for Kodama Sense. His passive Kodama Sense is awesome. But first one right there. So you really have to take your time in this one. As you can see, there's enemies everywhere, and there's this kind of, it's not easy to see through all the smoke and stuff. You can kind of see people fighting, and it looks like they're all bandits. So who knows what they're fighting about, but you can let them take the other ones out if you want. But they will all turn on you. So they really are just not having it with this guy over here, though. So you could sneak past while they're distracted, or you can make this a one-on-one. Pretty simple. Okay. So there's a nice yokai presence here, and we might as well clear that out, because that is going to become a shortcut right now. Well, not immediately right now, but just in case. But there's a ladder here that is going to be quite useful to us. You can see a ladder there and a ladder there, and there's another yokai up there, so just be careful. I just used a quick change scroll just in case, because even though you fought these enemies loads of times before, does not mean that they are any less dangerous. We can head up top right here first. These actually explode if I'm not... Yeah. Yeah. Those actually explode. Just wanted to show that off. We'll show him what's up, huh? So, there's your first splatter. Second one's over there. There are yokai and things down here as well. You see, this guy turned into a revenant. That's Isano Hasburo, shot down by William. And that's a level 5 revenant. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. Remember, turn all your fights into one-on-one fight. There's no need to make these harder than they need to be. Just explore around for treasure and various things. But as you can see, this is kind of a miniature maze in itself. There's even a yokai down here. Several, actually. I still have my quick change active, so... You can hear bats. I can just hear bats squeaking non-stop up there. But, yeah. Not too difficult to navigate, actually. Just... There are a lot of ambushes. That was that guy's mistake. So no ambush for us. And you can go up this way too. There's just numerous ways to complete this. Then you see there's items over here. There is a shrine right here, so... And another shortcut ladder. Okay, we remember there was a little Kodama this way. So... Not too bad, right? So, you can see there's multiple paths. This one's a dead end. That item, I think you have to drop down from that ledge to get. Okay. So now we're going to go back to sneaking around. Because we don't want to fight these enemies again. There's a Kodama down here. Right there, to be exact. Okay, a couple treasures. See, there's another Kodama up there. So you have to fall off right here, and I think there's either a dweller in this cave. Yeah, it's a dweller. Okay, I knew it was either a dweller or bats, but I knew it was a trap. But you see Shinroku is coming quite in handy here. There is a Tengu over there. Which, I mean, technically we could take out, and we might as well. But as you can see, we were supposed to run into the Tengu, but we dropped off early and we got him from behind. Okay, be careful. There's the shortcut to the shrine. As you can see, we can sneak around. So let's go get all of our throwing tools back. All our shuriken and kunai. But as you can see, there's a dude here. So just proceed up the ladder slowly. You don't actually have to kill this thing. but we can. Basically, he's guarding a treasure chest, and if you look where we were, you would just come up here and then get a treasure, and then that was your shortcut to the shrine. So now we are on the ledge over here. There's still another layer to this. I charged right into that. You can hear bats. You can hear bats all over the place. Yes, I did know that one was there. I don't know a safe way to disarm those, but I'd rather them blow me up and I just take a little damage than forget about them and take a lot of damage. Or get knocked off a cliff. Okay, now I can lock it. Oh. Oh, that was unfortunate. But that is why I do not like fighting the Tengus. I really don't. But that's okay. So as you see right here, you can see the smoke coming out of the ground. These do respawn. So, perhaps a good opportunity to show you. So we're going to try to hit the Tengu with slow this time. There we go. I probably should have hit him with slow to begin with. But not all bad. There is a Kodama inside this mountain, I think, or up on this ledge. I think he's up on this ledge. But I think this is just about the halfway point. You see the next shrine in the distance over there. So you have to go through that house and then turn around. And there's a few ambushes and things going on in here. So now you're on the upper levels. You can see a bunch of dwellers over there. But this may look familiar because this is a shortcut back to the first shrine. So we're just going to do our quick change scroll and rejuvenation just in case. Honestly, even a basic enemy can get you at this point, so. But yeah, now you have your shortcut. So let's go ahead and stealth, and we'll just hit the first shrine. So this is the room where the 3 guys were fighting. They did kill this dude who turned into a revenant. So he does not respawn, they won't be fighting again. And we'll just hit the shrine that's out here. And then we will use our Super Scroll. Just casually walk by this guy. Stay away from these 2. Turn this way. And there's no more whale monk up here, so we're safe. So you can go across this way or that way. I think there's a giant yokai on that side. So you can kind of see this is where the ledge where we were above. So there's a Kodama around here. There's also that item that we had to drop down to the ledge from up here. Is right there. And see, there's a giant yokai over here. So we'll just get rid of him really quick. As you can see, that's the way out. So instead of going around to the bandits, we can just go around this way. But we could have been up top this whole time. But I think it's easier to present things in the order that they show up. So here's this last item. Okay, Master Samurai Locks. So I am just going to Super Scroll. We're going to hit the shrine, take the shortcut over, and we will be right where we were. So do keep in mind the giant yokai is right here. So. And we don't actually need to be up here. But we'll go through. Actually, we can... Let's go through the other way. Let's travel back. Just to save a little bit of time. Where's my travel amulets? Because if we go... Oh, we rested at the wrong one. That is my bad. I was going to say, if we went this way, it would actually take more time to get where we were than it would just going the other way. Here we are. Because we still have to fight the dwellers. And we'll be at the next shrine before you know it anyway, so... but basically, now we're up top. We can drop behind this guy. We don't have to fight those enemies anymore. And then we just go through this section here. And that's where we fought the Tengu. The dweller will respawn. So, but we have a lot more shuriken and kunai than the first time we went through here. So, there is a little section off to the left here. I think it has a few enemies in it. As you can hear, there's a fight going on. So you get another revenant here. There is an area that way. We need to make it through this house though. In order to rest, but there is a giant yokai in here, is what I was gonna say. So we're gonna hit that first, hit that shrine, and then level up, and then we'll go the other direction. So just turn around, and here's your shrine. And then we're gonna level up, but as you can see, level ups cost quite a bit now. So still going with dexterity, but you're seeing we're only getting 2 points now. But 2 points is still better than 1. Man, there's a whole bunch of guys just duking it out all over down here. And we're just gonna ignore that. So, Super Scroll. Get your kunai and shurikens ready in case you don't sneak past them. And there's a little area down here. So as you can see, that's down where we were. So you can go up in this tree and there's an item. And you can actually drop down here. So we're going to carefully walk on this tree and not fall off, hopefully. Okay, Himoroki branch, that's always awesome. To me, I guess this looks like a really intense pine tree. Yep, there's hot springs. Just roll around a little bit, the fire status will go away. But this is how you proceed up. So, that's not bad. I'll show you how to get that way from this shrine. That's where I was actually headed anyway, so. There are dudes over here. Whole bunch, actually. And then I think there's stuff over there, too. But we're gonna drop off over here. So there is going to be another tango on this bridge. And I'm like, they went tango heavy on this. But as you can see, there's also a dweller. So just try to get a headshot if you can. I'm gonna switch to let's go the Raven Wing rifle. There we go. That's better. So I'm gonna quick change. You can fall off this bridge, by the way. And we're gonna slow this dude down. My item box is full, so you do have to be careful about that. So, my guardian spirit is down here. As you can see, I can no longer grab anything. So I'm going to just super scroll right here. And now I can see him, he can't see me. Grab Shinroku. Now he's a revenant. So same thing, I'm gonna super scroll. We're gonna finish this area off and then we'll go that way. So there is an archer over here. So you want to be careful of that. But this is just a little section that's kind of a side. Little side area. And of course, here's a giant yokai waiting for us. On Yudo. It probably will get me. Oh no, I can't see. But as you can see, it goes back into the forest. I don't know what the camera did there, but as you can see, the camera is a bit wonky sometimes. But yeah, that's all you're missing. We can get rid of that on Nioh from this side. But we got all the stuff over there. Where's my summoner's candle? So, didn't lose anything. Don't worry about it. And you can make those at Tumbleways, so. So. The sneak past the Dweller even, so. As you can see, there's a few of those traps. But yeah, right around here actually is where that Nioh was. There's a few items in the forest. As you can see, there's quite a bit of enemies guarding them. But Nioh is, I think, this way. Kodama Shrine right here, so that's what we want to hit first. We will explore the forest. And we will probably not be subtle. I'll just go in, just destroying things left and right. There is a nice trap up there, actually. But yeah, there's a really crazy trap up there. But yeah, there's the Nioh right there. That's just where we were. So basically, it's a shortcut to sneak around the whole thing. This guy's staring right at me and doesn't even. So as you can see, we can't really carry anything that's not an item. Now, since we're in an open area, if you want to fight this guy again, feel free. So, he's not so bad in the open. But yeah, that's where we were in the cave. But we are gonna go and collect some items. There was a guy over here too. Hi. See, he had a horn, so he could alert people to our location. Kodama right here. Which you can do that yourself, if you did not know that. So, there is a shrine up here, too. So, this game loves its boulder traps. We can drop off the side right here. There might be a yokai here. Nice. See, Summoner's Candle, so get our spirit back, so. And like I mentioned in the earlier videos, if you find an item that is that is in a level, it most likely will be in the same spot unless it's a key item. But a lot of times that's a boulder trap. It may not be in this level. He's not going to respawn. But this is the boss arena right here. I want to say that is the Twilight version of this mission that has the boulder trap, not... But just be careful going upstairs. So, since the enemies are all dead, we're just gonna rest. That's pretty sneaky, right? So that is all the Kodamas. So let's get our Guardian Spirit, our Kodama Blessing. I always like the Oracle Blessing for the extra Amrita, and then I'm going to change my Guardian Spirit back to Gyokutu. And I don't even think we have to use a scroll to sneak around here. But basically, this is the boss. And I'm gonna have to try to remember this one. I don't remember if this is a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-1.
Resurrect the most brutal overlord of them all.
This guy is fast. And very dangerous. But we can slow him down and make him weak. But as you can see, that's spamming right there. He can kill you in an instant. And it's wind he's spamming, so that lowers your attack. So it's not necessarily good for you. Just making sure there's no more items in the arena. But he's not too terrible. Honestly, if you stand on like the high ground, his blast, they like hit the rocks and stuff before they even hit you. So elevation does, you can cheese him with elevation. But that was that boss fight. We were in a little bit of danger, but not a lot. So we're gonna get another cutscene here.
3杯の茶を供し、13の時から仕えた秀吉様。私は天下人へと変わりゆく太閤様についていくだけであった。義を重んじ、刀なき世を民と共に歩む秀吉様の描きし美しき夢。いつしか私の夢となっていた。秀吉様亡き後、その夢を汚す家康めを討てぬとは、私が誤っておるのか。なぜ殺さぬ。
久しいの三成殿。
あなたは明智光秀殿。何故。
そなたの忠義、まことにあっぱれ。されど人の世には忠義より重きものがあり申す。それは大義じゃ。三成殿、忠義を重んずるあまり大義に背かれますな。
あなたも大義のため信長様を討ち、主君殺しの汚名をかぶったというか。されば私も大義に裁かれよう。
ケリーめが私が死した信長様を改まとして蘇らせ、再び大乱の渦を起こそうとしております。安仁殿、家康殿が大義、この国が太平のため、かの者を止めてくだされ。
Pretty crazy, right? And we got Izuna. So we'll take a look at Izuna. The only reason I still live after killing my master is to help this country finally achieve peace, Sir Anjan. I beg of you, stop Kelly and put an end to the senseless war. Okay, a mission, a true ninja is unlocked. And Evil in the Ether, which is the final Twilight mission. So this, the samurai from Sawayama, was actually, I don't know if he was in real life, but in the game he is Lord Nobunaga's samurai. Lord Nobunaga was his lord. And let's take a look at that guardian spirit, Izuna. As you can see, you get auto life recovery after using a living weapon, wind damage. You get close combat attack damage, or key reduction, and you get 8% Amrita earned, and 25 individual Amrita for attacking with a strong attack. So that's every time you attack with a strong attack, you get extra Amrita. So we are going to have a Bearer of Ill Tidings next, and that is a Twilight mission. And then tomorrow, we will do a Samurai from Sawayama. And we should be pretty close to finishing the game.